Video marketing doesn't have to be hard. Let's make it easy. Hi, I'm Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, here with Sharon, our creative director, and Duncan MacPherson, the man behind the message of Pareto Systems. And we are here today to give you some great ideas to turn your best video marketing intentions into reality. Duncan, you're kind of a video marketing guru. How long have you been using video to get your message out?
Yeah, I embraced video. It goes back about 15 years. Very much horse and buggy, very basic. It started to become a little bit more professionalized about 7 or 8 years ago, but more of a studio feel to create content. And then from a branding and business development perspective, about 3 years ago, I started this initiative I called From the Field, where I would just walk around in the various cities I was in, talking about something timely. And it became this incremental approach that I would use that created engagement. And then here we are.
I think a lot of people watch you, Duncan, and think, I want to do that. I want to be like him. And in this series, we're featuring advisors who are following in your footsteps. Today, we've got a video from Ari Baum, founder and CEO of Endurance World Partners. For a little background, Ari is an Ironman level competitive triathlete.
He's pretty hardcore. I mean, think about how much it takes to be an Ironman level athlete, which is exactly why he named his business Endurance. And we knew that that theme had to come through in his videos also, because if you take one thing away today, it's that you need to get personal to connect and be memorable. So here's Ari's Conceive, Believe, Achieve video. Take a look.
When you get an idea to take a trip, what's the first thing you do? You probably don't book a ticket and hop on a plane that day. If you're like me, you go online, do some research, find out what you can do there, where you might stay, and how much money you need to make it happen. Endurance World Partners is here to help you in that process of making dreams a reality through our mantra, Conceive, Believe, Achieve. Conceive is starting with a clear idea. Maybe you want to buy a new house, retire early, or travel the world. Believe is the fuel you use to push you forward, the determination to put in the hard work. Several times in my life, I've built dreams into reality from scratch. When my wife and I got married, we didn't have a penny to our name, and we've built a wonderful home for ourselves and our children. Then, after years of working for major banks, I knew there was a better way to serve clients. I wanted to put you first, not the bank. That's how Endurance World Partners was born. Starting from scratch was scary. I'm not saying this process isn't, but I believed with my whole heart that there was a better way and I could find a path to get there. That's how Believe turns into Achieve. When you create a smart, disciplined plan for success. We can help you figure out what that plan is, what size house you need, or when you might be able to retire. Then, we work with you towards that goal each month, each year, until it's a reality. Let Endurance World Partners help you conceive, believe, achieve your financial dreams.
What I really appreciate about Ari's video is the authenticity. I've said for a long time that with video, you're not trying to impress someone, you're trying to impress upon them who you are, what you stand for. And Ari doesn't lead with technical jargon or really any commentary about his core competency. He tells you who he is, and he balances what I would call the art and science of being a consultant. So he does a great job with that and tying it into something that he believes strongly in terms of his personal development, using endurance and tying it into his pursuits athletically. That is very, very strong. And, you know, we talk a lot about professional contrast. So a prospective client who's vetting Ari for the first time before they even meet to watch that video the likability and the trust is pretty much instantaneous. And of course, there's an old saying, right? For you to get hired, someone's got to get fired. When a prospective client who's on the verge of leaving their current provider and they're looking for options, they land on Ari's video, I can imagine them saying to themselves, I like this guy, I trust this guy, and yet he said nothing about managing investments. It's just who I am. So for that reason, I really, really admire what you guys have done with Ari.
Duncan, I think you're going to like this. Ari told me that watching Duncan's videos helped him to realize that he could amplify his message through video versus trying to reach people one by one. And then he said, simply put, that's hand-to-hand combat. And instead, he's taken kind of a way to 10x his message and save his breath. He doesn't have to keep repeating himself.
Well, and if I could add to that, we're at a point now where you're almost conspicuous in the absence of having video. It's almost like table stakes. You've got to have, at a minimum, a landing point where there's an evergreen, here we are video. Beyond that, I mean, that's a bonus, but that's the era we're in. So I'm glad he made that connection.
I love that Ari always approaching his videos from just this out of the box kind of angle, not like what every other advisor is talking about. And he's including his passion for the Ironman competitions, or in this case, how he and his wife pretty much started from nothing and built their lives. And he just really connects on this very I could be your friend. I can communicate with you over a cup of coffee, and we're just going to be in synchronicity together. You know, he's got such great energy on camera, such a great sense of humor. I know Tracy and I love to work with him. And the creative team loves creating his videos because he's talking about something different. And we get to use all sorts of fun cover video and graphics to, tell this message, whether it's comparing Ironman training to your financial plan or going to Dubai.
Well, if I could add, you want to find that sweet spot between the message and the messenger. And oftentimes the strength of the message is self-evident. That first impression, that curb appeal, for lack of a better term, is generally in the messenger. Do I trust you? Do I like you? And then, do I think you've got the goods and that we'd be a good fit? I think pretty much in that order. And I think Ari does a really good job hitting that progression.
Well, if you are interested in following in Duncan and Ari's footsteps, IdeaKit Remote Video is for growth-focused advisors who know that hiring a team of experts will make your life easier and make you look good. So thank you for being here, Duncan. And until next time, remember, keep creating, engaging, and converting with video.